On the channel, Ain't I Great with JEFFJARRETT, Jeff Jarrett, Zombie Sailor Toys, Pinnacle, Series 1.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Pinnacle Series 1 unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got Jeff Jarrett. But for all your Jeff Jarrett needs and a whole lot more, make sure you're hitting up jaystoysandgames.com. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 15% on all in-stock items. Got to get a deal out there, and Jays will have these Pinnacle figures eventually, but they have a ton of Heels and Faces figures, and you can save 15% off right now if you head over there. Tell them Kyle sent you. How about that? But of course, going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And Jeff Jarrett in the Pinnacle series. Now, we got a Heels and Faces once upon a time. We've recently got two AEW Jazzwares figures from him. But Jeff Jarrett, another one of those guys that's been around a heck of a long time. He's had a fair share amount of figures, but he should have had a lot more figures than he actually has. And this, dare I say, possibly could be the best Jeff Jarrett figure of all time. Very iconic look, and we didn't get this a whole lot over the years. You know, the closest thing we got was his Bone Cruncher days to this, but this is a welcome addition to the Mattel Jazzwares, whatever you want to say, wherever you're going to mix it into. It's a welcome addition here, as this does look really, really good. But of course, going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. But we got Jeff Jarrett in the package. You got 3 heads in total. We got some accessories. Unfortunately, no guitar with this one. I think that is a huge miss. I would have loved to seen a guitar. We'll try to fix that later in this video. But beautiful looks to Jeff Jarrett. I love the very 90s gear here on Jeff Jarrett. This looks really, really good. I'm here for it. I'm an old outlaw myself. I'm into this kind of stuff, so it looks very good. 18 and up on the Pinnacle Series 1 once again. He is figure 1 from Series 1 for those keeping track at home. And we got the generic backing on this one. We have it with all the figures. Makes sense. Got the cross sell down below. Always be promoting. We know how that goes. We are going to rank this entire way from my least favorite to my favorite, and we'll do a video on that, so stay tuned to the end. After we get them all unboxed, we'll do that as well. But once again, very McFarlane, NECA, old school style packaging on these. Very hard to get out of the package. Got a little bit of danger to it. Be careful with those razor blades. I do worry about the future of this maybe chipping or yellowing. We'll see what ends up happening, but looks good as far as displayability. Very, very nice packaging on these. If I had the room, I'd probably be a Double Up Club member. That's how good this one does look. I will say they did have the throw in here. I've been showing these as well. Pinnacle Series 2, Bad News Allen, Dino Bravo, Shane Douglas, One Man Gang, New Jack coming separately, probably sooner than later. I would not be shocked if New Jack didn't jump ahead Series 2, trying to beat Mattel to the punch as much as they possibly can. And as usual, heat up the joints. We got that little note in there just to be safe. You don't want to break an expensive figure. But I'm going to take this offline, get Jeff Jarrett out of the pack, and we'll be back talking all things Double J. All right, let's get down to business with old Double J. First off, though, might want to save the Zombie Sailor point on the bottom. 1 point, what those points will work for, nobody knows. I hope they figure something out. You know, the Action Force, Valaverse, whatever, did have that. That has worked out pretty good. I would love to see him do something like that in the future. Or maybe simple as maybe, hey, we have an extra Jeff Jarrett head sculpt. We'll pick on Jeff Jarrett. That only Zombie Sailor point members can get. You send in 20 points, you get this extra head sculpt. Something like that. Something fun. Doesn't have to be massive, but something fun would be the way to go. And then do it old school style. You send 20 of those in, plus $5.99 shipping, and we'll get it to you. I don't know. We'll see what happens in the future, but I'm going to save on to them. That's what I'm going to do. There's old Double J in the plastic prison looking very good. Pop everything out. We do got some shades, and we got some extra heads. Even got a cowboy hat. Gotta have the cowboy hat. All right, maybe. Okay, the cowboy hat is removable. Yikes. There we go. And now these glasses are going to be a little tough. But once again, very NECA-like here with the glasses. You got the little protector in there. Pull that off. That's the last thing I want to lose is these glasses. That would be horrible. See you later. Goodbye. Let's get down to business. Old Double J. Man, oh man. And I don't know if you guys are like me. I order these things and you wait a year, like the case of this. I forget all about it. I don't go back and look at pieces of paper saying, oh, that Jeff Jarrett. I just kind of wait for it. It's almost like discovering it all over again. And that's where I feel a little bit with this Jeff Jarrett right now. Starting off with the hands here, we got the two Ain't I Great hands, the peace sign hands, the Fargo strut hands, whatever you want to call them. We got these here for Jeff Jarrett. Make a lot of sense. Ready to go with those. We do got the sunglasses here. Nice pink lenses with little red jewels in them against the silver. On brand for Double J around this time. Ain't he great, as they say. Got the Double J on the top of the cowboy hat, the silver and black attack. Looking very, very nice. And I believe this hat will probably work with all three heads. So you can choose your own adventure. Which head, which hat, how do you want to do it? As I said, choose your own adventure. But now diving into Double J, Jeff Jarrett. And I got to say, I followed Jeff Jarrett's career a heck of a long time. Going back to like the days of the GWF USWA merger time on ESPN. That was the first time I remember ever hearing or seeing Jeff Jarrett. And I enjoyed him back there. I really liked Jeff Jarrett around that time. I wasn't sure what to think about this era of Double J. I know a lot of people hated it. I guess I wasn't a big fan, and maybe that was a good thing or a bad thing, depending how you look at it. But Jeff looks good here. This looks like a young Jeff Jarrett. Got the long blonde hair, got the smiling face, got those blue eyes, two ears, a nose, and a mouth. Play those Double J hits here. I got no issues with this head. Second head, we got a bit more smiling head on this one. A little bit more poofier hair. I will say, though, not a ton of difference between the two heads here. I mean, this head almost looks like it's bigger. Like it's a second head, a bigger head. Just a little bit more messed up and a little bit more volume in the hair. Not terribly different. And every other figure from the Pinnacle Series 1 had pretty much drastically different heads. This one's not terribly different. It looks like it's just the same head, almost upsized a little bit. So, I don't know. Then the third head, this means business, Double J. Very stoic, got the mouth open there. I don't know. It's between these two heads for me, personally, but looks good. I know it's Jeff Jarrett. But diving into the figure here, quite the work of art with this one. You got... It's like suspenders gone crazy here. It's like just suspenders for days. I don't know what you call this technically, but you got the polka dots all over the place like a young Dusty Rhodes, but more colorful, of course. And then we do got some glitter, and we recently saw glitter on the KWK Flash Funk figures. Now we're seeing glitter with this one. Not coming off on my hand. That's always a worrisome thing about glitter, but does look really good there. No issues with the glitter on this one here at all. Not a bad piece of business, all things considered. So looking pretty good. Got the bare arms going down into the forearms, wrist here. You got the polka dots once again with the yellow. Got the two gripping hands out of the package. Once again, it would be great to grip a guitar. Unfortunately, no guitar with Double J. However, I do have an extra one from the Coliseum Collection Honky Tonk Man. So I'm probably going to put this with Double J here. I would say that scales just fine for this. So really a missing accessory. Obviously would cost some money, but you think you could have found some kind of a scale for a guitar like this, but definitely is needed with this one for me personally. Your mileage may vary. Now, diving into the lower half, I'm already seeing some issues with my Double J. Your mileage may vary, but it looks like his trunks are uneven on mine. So I don't know if I need to heat these up or what, but it's almost like somebody pulled down the side of his trunks here. I don't know what is going on with that, but it does look uneven. And then unfortunately, I got some extremely loose legs on here. Every single figure in this wave has been pretty tight joints. This one, unfortunately, these legs are frog style. It's like you went to the old pond, the old fishing hole, Todd McFarlane. You saw a big bullfrog and you reach in to grab that frog and he's just kicking those legs. That's what it's like. That's what it looks like here to me and feels like to me. So that's a little disappointing about this looseness here. I don't know if I could put some of that joint tightener in there and maybe that could help it a little bit, but really don't like the looseness in the legs, which is really strange because everybody else in the wave, tight joints, these very, very loose. So that is frustrating if you ask me. Now, we always say your mileage may vary, but boy, you heat this figure up and get even looser on you if you're not careful. But interesting look. So then the polka dots do continue here. You got another band of glitter around the thigh with the yellow in the middle. I do have some paint dings on the yellow. Once again, your mileage may vary on that. Then you continue on to the polka dot, down to the black boots. They got JJ on the side, Double J. And then you got the fringe on the back of the boots, which is an interesting look. Gives a little bit of a horse flair to it is what it reminds me of, but in purple against the black. Looking interesting. Now, arms do go all the way around here. Bicep cut. Oh, boy. Ugh, very scared on the joints here, but single jointed elbow, side to side, Super 7-like. Hands back and forth, side to side, removable, gripping hands once again. You do get the dumbbell joint up top, plus traditional waist. A little bit limited in what you can do here with that vest, suspenders over the top, kind of holding everything together. Legs, once again on this one, leg goes up. They do not fall back down, though, so I do like that. They will stay, even though they are very loose, they will stay in position, so that is a good thing. Double jointed pin knees on this one. And then you do got a little boot cut action, ankles back, forth, side to side, up and down. Should fit on a Mattel ringside collectible stand using code Kyle to save 10%. And he does fit on a ringside stand if you want to. Now, will he stand by himself with these kind of wobbly legs? I don't know. He's just a little bit off. I don't know. There we go. Got him to stand at least, so not bad. But I will say, I wish the legs were a little bit tighter. I don't like the looseness on this one, and I do worry over time that it might get a little bit looser. We've seen Elites, we've seen Marvel Legends, you've seen a lot of figures over the years. As time goes on, the joints loosen up. Hopefully that doesn't happen with this, or this guy's going to be a Woody from Toy Story mess in the future. But man, it is spot on Jeff Jarrett. Looks just like Jeff Jarrett. One of the heads a little wonky, but the other two are straight up fire. I love this Jeff Jarrett figure. Wish the quality control was a little bit better on this one. Once again, your mileage may vary, and I really wish he came with a guitar. That seems like such a key accessory, or at least a microphone or something. But we have enough of that fodder. Probably, I guess we can use one of those if we really need it in our collection. But a little bit of comparison time on this one. How about a little Jazzwares action? We haven't really compared Jazzwares to these figures yet. We can see how that looks. That scales pretty well, I will say. Now, Jeff Jarrett isn't Abdullah or King Kong Bundy. He is a littler guy. So this scaling works pretty good. So this one might go really well with your WWE Elites. And I got Razor Ramon right here. Maybe a hair big against Razor, but that ain't bad. That ain't bad at all. I would say out of all these figures, he feels like he maybe is the best in scale with the Mattel Elites. Personal opinion once again. But how about him in the Regime? We haven't talked Regime line. Figured the Godwins would be a good way to start that comparison action. These are the only two Regime figures we've had so far. Not a bad scale comparison. It's very interesting to me that these figures in the Pinnacle remind me of the Zombie Sailor Heels and Faces, just like Grapplers and Gimmicks remind me of the Regime. It's almost the Hasbro cartoony style that the Grapplers and the Regime have against the more upscaled version the Pinnacle and the Heels and Faces have. Both of them have their merits, both have their flaws in certain places, but it's really on point with the two designers of the two companies. And I guess I appreciate that, seeing that vision through and keeping them consistent between all their lines here. So really feels like an upgraded Heels and Faces, as these feel like the upgraded Grapplers and Gimmicks figures, if that makes any sense at all. But we got those guys going right here. And then we got Jeff Jarrett. I guess we'll compare him to Abdullah the Butcher against another big man. I don't know. You tell me on that comparison there. Jeff feels a little bit undersized for this line. So it feels undersized for the Pinnacle line. Feels pretty good in the Elite line. You guys tell me once again. And then that Power Town scale, why not? I don't know, against Bruiser Brody. Your thoughts, let me know in the comments once again. But there it is, old Double J riding hard in the Pinnacle series here today. Not a bad outing as far as this Double J goes. I'd definitely not be opposed to more Jeff Jarrett figures. I think there's a lot of Jeff Jarrett meat on the bone from his looks over the years. Whether or not that happens, we'll just have to stay tuned and see. But a good outing here with Jeff Jarrett. Like this figure. A few quality issues that I didn't have with the others that I got with Jeff. But besides that, it does present very well and will display well in your collection. But what's your thoughts? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to both my YouTube channels. 2 channels to keep you busy. SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com, which is also the name of my podcast, The Kyle Peterson Show, available every Tuesday wherever podcasts are found, with video cast on YouTube. So for Jeff Jarrett, Pinnacle Series 1, I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?
I found out a long time ago. You gotta learn to say yes when life says no.
See you later!